And welcome back to what could be the Season 2 finale of the Ohio-only state challenge here on Madden 23. Or we could have 2 episodes left. It kind of depends on how we play. Last episode, we made some big trades, trading away players, bringing in players. For bringing in Chase Young, Sauce Gardner, and then Jonah Jackson or Jonah Johnson? Jonah something on the offensive line. So 3 really big guys there. And unfortunately, we didn't see them make as big of impact as we were hoping that they would right off the get-go. But starting to see Chase Young amp up a little bit. Sauce Gardner got his first pick in the last game, so good there. But Ritter has played well for us and then has played really bad. Last episode, if you haven't seen it, there was a bit of drama in the first meeting of the Ohio Bowl, and our backup quarterback, our QB2 LaRubio, undrafted rookie, he got put in. And he played really well. I don't think we have a quarterback competition there because he's a 60, not even 60, a 57 overall. But it shows that the job isn't safe for Ritter, especially with there being a top 5 quarterback available in this next draft. We don't have a top pick at all. We don't have a first-round pick, but if we need to make moves, we could definitely try. So let's jump in, start going through this. We'll probably sim the first 2 weeks, Rams and Bills, and then the next 2 weeks following week 11 and 12 against division rivals in the Steelers, and then that second meeting of the Ohio Bowl. Ohio Bowl finale definitely in this episode, whether we have 2 more or just 1 more. So let's get started. And we're starting with a tandem breakout on defense. Denzel Ward plays at such a high level and always leads by example. Do you think I can have that kind of impact? I definitely believe that Sauce Gardner can. Do we challenge him, an interception bonus goal, or do we praise him and get a ratings boost? I think the safest thing to say is the ratings boost. I know you have the ability in you, and you always have. There's going to be a day here soon where you instill that same fear into opposing offenses. I'm ready to run through a wall, coach. I haven't felt this prepared and pumped for a game all season long. Keep that same energy, and when you start making plays, it's going to have the whole defense looking up to you, maybe? Denzel Ward has earned 2,500 experience points for inspiring a teammate. And then we need to get a combined 2+ interceptions or pass deflections with Sauce Gardner against the Rams to inspire the entire defense. And to help him do that, he will have a +3 man and zone coverage for this next game. Really nice boost there. And here's the win we needed to kick off this episode right. And we won it in the 4th quarter, which so rarely has happened for us. We've primarily been losing games in the 4th quarter, but we score 14 unanswered, and we take the game late. Let's see how we were able to kind of get the job done. Well, Ritter, better game. 3 touchdowns, still had 1 interception, needs to clean that up. 276 yards, was sacked twice, completing 64% of his passes. In the running game, all right for Zeke, 15 carries, 70 yards, averaging 4.7 a carry, but no touchdowns in the running department. However, Zeke went off, actually, in this game, because receiving, he more than doubled his total yardage with 85 for a touchdown. Ruckert had 63 on 5, Wilson 58 on 6 with a touchdown, Olave 54 on 6 for a touchdown, and then Holiday only 1 for 9, and Quinton Morris got a catch in this game. As for defense, Chase Young led us here, and he also had 3 tackles for a loss, which leads us. Also had 2 for Pete Warner, and then 1 for Okudah, Hubbard, and Hamilton. And I did see that Young had some sacks, 2, the only sacks of the day, but really good there. And we did have 1 interception for Derek Forrest. But the big thing to look for here is Sauce Gardner. So did he at least deflect any passes? It doesn't say he did, but it doesn't really keep track of that. He didn't allow any catches, and it does keep track of that, so I'm not sure if he got that boost or not. As for the kicking department, Sloman 3 for 3 and didn't have any attempted field goals, so no misses there. So Sloman putting together a pretty solid year. But that win is our 4th of the season, which ties our win total for the previous season with still about half the season to go. So promising. But let's find out if we got that tandem boost here. I was ready to go coming into that game, but wasn't able to find the ball or make the plays I was hoping to. So doesn't sound good here, and his last name is not Ritter, Madden. Sometimes it works out that way, but don't let it discourage you from coming into every week feeling like you're going to have an impact. It's true. So no upgrade there, unfortunately. But now we have the Buffalo Bills, who are 3-6, another winnable game here for us. And we're sitting a little bit again behind the Ravens. They're about a game and a half up on us, but they've lost 2 less games, so they've had their bye week. We still haven't. Our bye week is week 13, so we will at least get through week 13 this episode, maybe more. If we could string together some wins, we will have an extra episode this season, maybe even more if we get into the playoffs. So let's see what we do here against the Bills. And those back-to-back victories continue to elude us. We lose this one in overtime, 30-24. We've had, I think, 3 or 4 overtime games that we've lost this year. Or I think 3 that we've lost and 1 that we've won. So need to find a way to do better. Ritter, 304 through the air, 2 touchdowns, 2 more interceptions. Was sacked 0 times, completed 70% of his passes. If he could just clean up some interceptions, I think we would be all right. In the running department, 71 on 16 for 4.5 carries, 4.5 yards per carry. And then nothing else really down the line. Josie Loves gets a couple rushes, but not for much. Receiving department, Jeremy Ruckert, solid, 76 on 7. Wilson, 75 on 6 and another touchdown. Olave, 62 on 5. Rayshawn Holiday gets in the end zone, 53 on 5. And then a few more down the line. Defensive-wise, Jerome Baker, 10 tackles, leads the team. We, however, only had 1 tackle for a loss. That was by Chase Young, so he's at least consistently in the backfield now. But we do have 3 sacks, 1 from Baker, Hubbard, and Jonathan Cooper. And Jerome Baker also got an INT today, so forcing a turnover at least. The defense really hasn't forced many turnovers this year, and I think that's why they've struggled a bit. But Sam Sloman, not struggling. 3 for 3 on extra points, 1 for 1 on field goals. But despite the loss, Jerome Baker is awarded AFC Defensive Player of the Week with 10 tackles, the 1 sack, and the interception. So good for him, at least. And in Week 11, it's time to have some focused scouting. So it looks like Schillinger, the top 5 quarterback, we'll most likely find out all the information on him by the end of the season. But we know B deep accuracy, B medium accuracy, B short accuracy with A throw under pressure. So seems solid. But where else do we consider? Obviously, Justin McLaughlin is a backup with the C accuracies. There's a couple day 3 offensive linemen that seem interesting. Sammy Tatum has A awareness with B to D lead and then C to F pass blocking, so not great there. If anything, maybe Quincy Lloyd with the B to Ds could potentially be better. There is Carlos Portis, a day 3 guard with B awareness, A to C impact, C to F pass block, but B run block, not awful. There's also Orlando Tate, that's a potential undrafted, that has B to D awareness, A impact, A to C pass block, and then C run block. That is actually pretty intriguing. But unfortunately, looks like our round 1 to 2 DT is not very good. We know 50%, and with that 50%, we know he's a run stopper with C to F block shedding, C finesse moves, C power moves, C tackling. He's at least balanced, but he doesn't look that good. We will have him be one of the, for sure, focused scouts because we want to learn some more information on him, but that seems a little to be desired, which maybe is good for us because we don't have a 1. I know we don't have a 1. We maybe have a round 2, but I'm not sure. Another guy that looks like we will get all the information on is Cole Lawrence, that middle linebacker, again, round 1 to 2, with B block shedding, C pursuit, B tackling, and B zone coverage. So another solid guy who we could try to bring in. We'll see if he fits Again, try is the key word there because we don't have a lot of earlier picks. And there is a corner in Floyd Hightower, day 3, with C catching, C man, A to C press, and D zone. I'll put him on there just because he seems maybe intriguing as a developmental guy. And I think the third guy will be Orlando Tate. I'd like to learn some more information about this potential undrafted, just because he looks like he might not be awful. So we will confirm those 3. But without all that done, I think it's time to jump into this Pittsburgh game. Watch at least a little bit of it, maybe not all of it. Definitely want to watch a majority of the Browns game. Again, Ohio Bowl, and they needed a lot of my help in the last game to secure that victory. So if we could get 2 wins here, I say we have another episode. If we don't, might just go ahead and get through this season. So let's jump on in and watch a little bit of this Pitt game. And we're jumping into the second half of this game, and to be honest, not looking too good for us here. The Pittsburgh Steelers up 24-7. But if we could get a touchdown on this drive, it'll give us some hope to try to bring this game back at least a little bit. Ruckert with his second catch, 30 yards on the day. Go for a pass across the middle to Holiday. And Ritter already has 1 interception today, 1 touchdown, completing 11 of 19. That's Holiday's first catch. And that will bring up 2nd and 4 as we come out 2 to the bottom, 1 up top. Shotgun set here for Ritter. And we will hand the ball off down the middle. Zeke will make first guy miss and get us the first, crossing midfield. Now down to the 46. A lot of changing up the play looks here. Now under center with the tight set here. We'll fake the handoff to the outside, fake the jet sweep, then run right down the middle goes Zeke. And he'll get us close, 2nd and inches. As we spread it wide again, 2 to the bottom, 1 up top. Ritter needing to put together a good drive, and Ruckert not able to hold on to that one. Broken up by number 59. Maybe Hightower, maybe Bush, just by the look of the player. It'll be a drop back, quick pass underneath. Completed. Garrett Wilson for the first down. And Wilson only has had 3 catches for 30 yards, so the offense just really hasn't done much. I'm assuming a lot of 3 and outs by the lack of yardage for most players. And there's a tackle for loss of 2. Zeke, 8 rushes, 19 carries, 8 rushes, 19 yards. Not good. With 8 carries, you expect to have at minimal 24 yards. To at least have it be 3 yards a carry. Another check down here. Ruckert will get the ball up to the 20. We'll bring up a 3rd and 3. So we're at least in striking range. If we don't get the first down here, definitely jumping in to try to help us out. But no need to do that. Wilson gets us the first down to the 14. Keep this drive going. And now we're going to have a tight spread tight end to the top and then 3 receivers to the bottom. And we'll go for a run down the middle. Zeke with a spin and a fight. Still pushing down to the 1. And on 1st and goal line set out there with Gilliam in the backfield at fullback to help lead the way. We go with a stretch up top. And you got to cut that in. We had the space if you cut it in. Instead, number 34 gets the tackle on the outside. And on 2nd and goal, staying out in that goal line set, but down at the 4 will be a toss. And that is Sermon, who's in and will lose another yard. I'm jumping in. And on 3rd and goal, for some reason it has Wilson and Olave on the outside. Holiday should definitely be on the outside. Maybe that's part of the reason. But Holiday with the touchdown catch will at least narrow our deficit here. And now we're going to need our defense to get a stop here for us. But Austin Hooper starts with a gain of 8. Then Robinson gets the first down for him. And then Robinson gets another 7, this time through the air. And then Austin Hooper again. Do they have anyone else? So far, no, but they don't need anyone else. Steadily moving, and there's the other person. DeAndre Hopkins, touchdown. Let's see if maybe our offense can put together a drive here. 3rd down after that throwaway. And only 2 yards. Yeah, I think we go ahead and sim this game on out. And we're able to get some points on the board at least. That's good. I don't know how we got the ball back, but we did it. So maybe we do slow it down a little bit. Oh, another about 20 yards to Hopkins. If they get another touchdown here, then yeah, we'll sim through the rest. James Conner Gets them forward for the first down. Incomplete pass thrown away. Again, this team won the Super Bowl last year, so you expect them to play well. Lamar Jackson gets them the first down. 7 more yards. We're down 10, and they're about to put some more points on the board. And if they do, this game is definitely over. 6 yards away. Now at the goal line, 1st and goal. Pass thrown away. Can we get a goal line stop? Sack Jerome Baker. 3rd and goal from the 6, and Austin Hooper puts the game away. And we were able to tack on an extra touchdown there at the end, but another bad showing here for us. Losing the game by 10, again with a garbage time touchdown, 38-28. And in this game, Ridder didn't play too bad. 336 yards, 4 touchdowns, did still have the 1 interception, but he did about what you expect, 62% completion. Running department, Zeke, not great, and no one else really ran the ball. Receiving, Holiday had 85 yards on 6 catches for 3 touchdowns. Breakout day there for the Rook. Wilson gets 91 on 6, 42 on 4 for Olave. Elliott 60 on 4 for another touchdown. And then Ruckert 48 on 4 and Deguara 10 on 1. Defensive-wise, Jerome Baker led us with tackles with 12. Pete Warner right behind with 11. We did not have a single tackle for a loss. But we did have 3 sacks, 1.5 for Warner, 1 for Baker, and then half a sack for Jonathan Cooper, who's been playing quite a bit lately. I don't remember seeing an injury for Chase Young. No, he played. I don't know how Cooper's getting out there. But Pete Warner also had an interception, so a good game from the linebackers, but I think that was just because they had to make a lot of plays. And that's now 2 weeks in a row where we've lost a game, yet we had a defensive player of the week, this time Pete Warner. Doesn't really help us out much if we're losing games, so we will go ahead and wrap out this regular season in this episode. So we'll watch a bit of this Cleveland game because once again, the two of us fighting for the bottom. We now find ourselves 4 games back from the Ravens, starting to look like we're not really going to have much of a chance, so we'll try to get through some of these games a little bit of a quicker fashion. So yeah, let's jump on into the second bout of this Ohio Bowl championship here, where if we win, we'll definitely lock it in 2 years in a row. Best team in Ohio. Let's see who's going to take home the Ohio Bowl for the 2nd year. Granted, if this game is tied, it'll go down to the final end of the season to see who ends up with a better record. So if we win today, it's ours. If we don't win, who knows? But if the trend continues, you would think Browns. Gain of 9 on the first play. Quick pass from Baker. Quick stop, but a first down gain to Everett. And I did change things a little bit here for this game, as in the last Browns game, they had a lot of short passes, so I told the team, take away the short pass. So let's see if we could do that. And on 2nd and 9, they'll come out shotgun, 2 to either side. Looks like an audible there from Baker, but will be a pass play. We have a rush coming in, then there's Chase Young. I believe that is our first watched sack from Chase Young, who we traded for last episode. If you did not see, quite a few trades in that last episode. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 21. Shotgun set again, 2 to either side. Baker will drop back. Another pass. Oh, and that's a cheap shot, but Hubbard will get in for the sack. Looked like Chase Young was about to get his 2nd, but then Javonte Williams just dove at him from a blind slide and took out his as you see there, took out his knees, but luckily we had a few more guys coming in. And now our offense will take the field with solid field position to start at the 45. And we really need to see Ridder have a solid rest of the season. 19 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. He's just going to take a sack. He's going to eat it, loss of 9. Because honestly what I'm thinking now is what kind of package could we potentially put together, including Ritter, to move up to get this top 5 guy. Most likely I'm thinking he's got a dev trait that'll help us out. Ruckert there with a nice catch, gain of 17. But I'm not sure Ritter has it. Madden very much relies on quarterbacks having some sort of superstar or superstar X factor. Star really doesn't help him out that much. So we'll see what we end up doing, how he finishes out the season, and if we're able to put together a package that intrigues someone at the top end of the draft. But we'll get the first down there, keep this drive alive. We'll watch the first drive of each side, and then we'll start to go through a little bit of the quicker sim, as not a good run play there for us. Loss of 1. Houston in the backfield again. And we'll come out in the pistol look here. 2 to the top, 1 at the bottom of the screen, off the screen, I should say. Will be a draw down the middle. Open running room goes Zeke, and it looks like he's missing that 3rd gear. He has some speed, but not seeing it much there. Adrian Amos brings him down. And I did tell the team we want to take some shots down the field. They don't have a great secondary. We want to abuse it. And here comes Trey Sermon, who looked for someone to tackle him. And J.J. Watt surely did, gain of 2. Bringing up 2nd and 8. Shotgun set, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom, again off screen. And not a quick pass this time, but we'll throw this to the outside. Rayshon Holiday close to the 1st, marked as 3rd and inches. So we'll come out under center. 1 back in the backfield is Zeke. And we'll probably, no, not actually going to hand it off. I was assuming it was going to be a run. Here comes JJ, and there's a sack. I'm jumping in. We're going for it. On 4th and 4. I mean, at this point in the season, you just got to go for it. You know, just taking a little bit here and there isn't going to help. Rayshon Holiday drops it. Maybe 56 broke it up, but that should have been a catch. Obviously, could have taken the field goal there, but field goal doesn't help us. We need victories if we want to make this year into anything. Brandon Cooks gets a gain of 22, though. Then pass thrown away by Baker Mayfield. 2nd and 10. Jay Jets gets 13. Browns now getting close to the red zone. 2nd and 5. Now into the red zone. Inside the 15. 4 for Robbie Anderson on a rush. Probably a jet sweep. And touchdown, Everett. Let's see if we can answer back our 2nd drive. Gain of 8 by Zeke. Then a gain of 4 gets us the 1st down. Again, trying to air this thing out, but it's not happening. Ruckert gets a holding call. Then 17 in the air to Zeke. Then 2 yards, bringing up 3rd and 1. And we'll get it. Reggie Gilliam gets the catch for a gain of 5. There's Garrett Wilson, 13, now in plus territory. Another 14 to Wilson. And a pass thrown away from Ritter. Just outside the red zone, now inside the 5, or just before the 5, at the 6. 2nd and goal gets us down to the 1. 3rd and goal, minus 2 yards. We're going for it again. Said we're either going to win or we're going to lose hard. There's no in between. We'll go for it here on 4th. Have a receiver. That is a catch for a touchdown. Garrett Wilson. And we will continue in the quicker sim here, at least for the first half. Maybe get closer to the 4th quarter before we watch a bit more. 3rd and 10. Nice stop there from our defense. Need to put together a scoring drive here on offense with about 2.5 minutes left. And we'll see if they could do that. 2 yards, starting deep in our own territory. Getting a little bit of room. We'll rewatch that for some reason, I guess after the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 3, 1st down gained. Although we're definitely wasting a lot of time here. 4-yard pass, we need to take some chunks, and we're definitely not doing it. I don't know if it's play calling of the actual playbook or if it's the offense itself. That's not really where I wanted him to go, but okay. We'll send him deep. I was just wanting to send him to the other side of the line, and I just realized we have next to no time remaining. Ruckert, get down. Call a timeout with 1 second. Apparently, we didn't call a timeout, so that's my bad. I should have realized that. And well, with 1 second left, let's see if we could get Olave deep, maybe even Wilson. We're going to need some good blocking to allow the time to let this play progress, and we're really just going to have one option. Toss it up in the middle. Olave will at least take out the defender, and we'll head into half, tie game 7-7. And as the second half starts, we'll get 20 yards to Rashawn Holiday. Nice first gain, but then pass thrown away. 2nd and 10, short gain of 3, bringing up 3rd and 7, and there's the first down. Garrett Wilson, definitely our #1 receiver. He's consistently getting the catches, getting the yards. As we could see here, so far, pretty much him on this drive. DeGara gets in, gets a gain of 10, and then we get a penalty. So not great. 1st and goal from the 11, 6 yards goes to Ruckert. 2nd and goal, 3-yard rush, Gilliam. 3rd and goal, touchdown, Zeke Elliott to give us the lead. And plus the extra point. Now we just need our defense to keep the Browns off the scoreboard. Get some stops, let us run out the clock, and we could go ahead and claim our 2nd Ohio Bowl victory. Baker Mayfield throws it away 2 plays in a row. 3rd and 10, 5 yards, good stop there from the defense. Should force a punt, indeed it does. So we'll continue on here with the quick sim. Another chunk play, Holiday, 21. 20 from Ruckert. Offense finally moving the ball here. Taking some deep shots, then going for a run underneath. Gain of 3, and I maybe spoke too soon. Interception gives back the ball to the Browns around midfield as they now cross midfield. And on 3rd and 8, nice stop again from our defense. Defense making some plays here today, but a penalty on the defense. Okay, they still punting away. And we'll start again with the quick sim. Get on into the 4th quarter with hopefully a lead. As Zeke continues to run strong, Trey Sermon gets in with some carries. 1st and 10, another run for Sermon. And then he's going to lose some yards. I wonder if Zeke is injured or struggling. Rashawn Holiday, some chunk plays for him today. A lot of Sermon, so hopefully just stamina. And another interception. Ritter very much lacks the ability to put a game away, it appears. But let's see what the defense can do. Going to watch some action here as they're going to find 13. I believe that's Brandon Cooks for about a gain of 18. Mayfield pretty accurate on the day. And that will give them a 1st down, definitely in field goal range. Defense needs to get some stops here for sure. They will go with the play action. Baker waiting for something to open up. He'll check down instead. Be about a gain of 4. Only 107 yards for Baker on the day. You can see that greatly go up in the 4th quarter as they continue to pass. And that one picked off Jerome Baker, thrown right at him. I don't even know who you could say that was intended for. That was just a scripted interception if there ever is one, but I will take it. And because I do not trust Ritter in this situation, we're going to help the team try to run out the clock as we continue to play in the most important games of the series so far, the Ohio Bowl. I feel like I've taken on the Jackie Moon role here. If you know what I'm talking about, then you get the reference. But we're going to try to help this team out by making some big games out of games that probably aren't all too important. So now taking under 5 minutes, let's get Josie Love out there at running back. Going to run the draw play, see what he could do, and Madden forced me into J.J. Watt for sure. I told him to run left. He ran right. But at the end of the day, how much do we expect from Madden? And Josie Love exits right after that. Maybe just due to stamina. We're trying to set up a screen pass. There's nothing to look at here, and this one might be picked. Yep. I was hoping he would throw it out of bounds, but that's not what happened. Well, tried to put the game out, but even a throwaway ends up still getting picked off from Ritter. So definitely burying himself, and he's for sure in the hot seat. Browns will get close to the 1st down. They call it 2nd and inches with the catch there from Jefferson. About 3.5 minutes left. We at least still have a touchdown lead. So a touchdown just ties it. As Baker will drop back and throw an inaccurate pass. So far, I would say Baker and Ritter playing fairly evenly here. 3rd and inches. Will fake the handoff, roll out to the top. And Baker going to chuck this one deep and wide open. Brandon Cooks for the touchdown. Ends up burning Von Bell, our strong safety. And this game tied back up. And it's probably not the wisest choice, but I'm going to give Ritter the chance here. Make this a game late. Drive down the field, get the game winner. Going to find Ruckert on our 1st play. Get about a gain of 6. And I wonder if they still have the chew clock on. Considering that we're about out of time on the play clock, I'm going to assume we are. So I might have to jump in and change that at some point. And on 3rd and 4, let's jump in now. Or not. Or not. I definitely chose to jump in before the end of this play, but whatever. Set up the screen pass. Zeke close to the first, and they give it to us. And we definitely did have the chew clock on, so it's a good thing I'm coming in here, because we probably would have choked away any chance we would have had late. And we're going to have an open Ruckert this time. Try to turn up field, and not really able to do so, but there's the 2-minute warning. At least gives us a little break, a little time to catch our breath. Single high safety here for the Browns, as they will bring a blitz. We've had a guy open to the outside, but did not read it in time. Instead, Ritter will run forward, slide down at the 25, and just like that, we're in scoring position to win this game late with either a field goal or a touchdown. So let's go ahead and start taking some time off the clock here. Go back to chew the clock. Go down the field with Zeke. Powers through one guy, but a nice tackle from 56, and they're going to start calling their timeouts. Let's see if we can maybe get Wilson deep here. Going to go with a play action. Have a couple guys also coming over to that side. And we have a guy underneath. Can he hold on to it? Holiday touchdown! Maybe too soon. Maybe too soon, but we will at least take the lead again with about a minute left. This is what we saw in the first at least bout of the Ohio Bowl. We took a late touchdown lead. Just need to hold on to it. And let's see if our defense can do just that. Baker Mayfield and the Browns start at the 26. 1 minute left. They do have 2 timeouts. And they'll start with a quick throw out of bounds at the 30. When you need a touchdown 4 yards, granted they only lost like 3 seconds, so not awful, but you need some chunk plays here. And they're going to go for it, and they are going to get it. Brandon Cooks with a nice little quick stop back shoulder throw as well. Gets the completion just past midfield. Still have all their timeouts with about 30 seconds left. And there's a broken tackle, but finally brought down at the 40 as they call their second timeout, but quickly rush back onto the field. So no commercial break. Not that we have those yet. Baker Mayfield going to throw and find Justin Jefferson down to the 33. 10 seconds left, and they'll call their last timeout. A tackle inbounds once again, just like the last game, will end this game. Baker Mayfield will throw to the outside. That one's picked off. Is that Jerome Baker again? No, Jeff Okudah actually with the INT, with the nail in the coffin. 4 seconds left. Will take the knee, but that is the Ohio Bowl going to Cincinnati for 2 years in a row. And I don't know if you could hear it, but the crowd is very excited to take home that bronzy gold trophy that I threw on the thumbnail of the last one. Not too bad. Not too bad of a quick trophy design. You didn't see it. It's shaped like Ohio. Just has a stand underneath. But that victory will seal not only the Ohio Bowl, but more victories this year than we had in the previous year. Wasn't a clean game. Another really bad performance from Ritter. But we at least got the job done at the end. And at least we could add that second trophy to our case. But we still find ourselves towards the bottom of the AFC North. We're now above the Browns. The Ravens definitely have pulled away. Steelers sitting at 500. Potential to maybe make something happen. We'll take a quick peek at maybe the fourth quarter of that game in Week 16. But at least these next 2 weeks against the Cardinals and then the Ravens, probably go ahead and sim through those. But before we do that, do want to take a quick look at some of the scouting information we were able to find. So still waiting on the final bits here for Paul Schillinger. But from what we do know out of Miami of Ohio, we have great to elite, throw power, strength, no speed, with good change of direction. In terms of his skills, awareness is solid, and being an A under pressure, good. Throw on the run, not very good, but we do have B accuracies across the board, which makes me think he's probably not a top 5, maybe just a round 1. So maybe that's in our favor. We won't have to trade up as much for him, but with the projected top 5, he's still probably going pretty early. We did take a look at Orlando Tate, and he moves up to an 80. And for what we know with him, as a potential undrafted, not too bad. We have A, impact blocking, A, lead block, C, pass block with C, run block. Pass block finesse could be a D to an F, same for run block finesse, but C, power for pass block, and B, run block power isn't awful. He's definitely not going to be a starter for sure, but as a potential undrafted, he's not too bad, with good to great strength as well, so maybe a potential backup offensive lineman there. As for the DT, who again projected round 1 to 2, probably not that good. 6'4", 330 though, I mean good size with great to elite strength. Maybe he makes some of the DTs we have expendable. He does have good awareness and play rec, both being a B. With C, block shedding, finesse moves, and power moves makes him moldable. A, impact blocking, I don't necessarily see a round 2. Maybe a late round 2, early 3rd. But I don't know. Intriguing for sure. I think end up being very similar to what we have in Togiai, pretty much. And that corner we were kind of interested in, up to an 80. We know he is man-to-man. Floyd Hightower with good size. Not a lot of speed nor strength. Again, a developmental guy with A, block shedding, C, tackle. So he's a developmental slot. He does have B, press, D, zone, C, man. Late round pick. Seems at least intriguing. So with all that, I think we'll have an interesting draft. Definitely going to probably need to move around a lot in that draft. We might have to give up a lot for the next year. I don't know. Kind of varies depending on what we're able to do, maybe in free agency. But let's start simming and get on over to that Week 16 game. And coming off the big win, winning the Ohio Bowl, plus the bye week, we still just haven't been able to put it together. Dropping the 2 games here against the Birds. Cardinals, we lose 35-28, with them storming back once again in the 4th quarter, scoring 21 points. It's continual. It's a continual thing this season. I mean, I'm not even too worried about jumping in to take a look at the individual stats. I think we go ahead and sim out the remainder of this season because we're not making any sort of push for that 2nd spot. The Ravens, we do lose to. We made a push this time in the 4th quarter to try to come back. Just end up falling 3 points short, 24-21. And while on our way simming through, need to make some offers. I will wait on Zeke's until the offseason, but Andrew Norwell would like to go ahead and start negotiating, and he did want a longer term on his deal. So we'll bump it up to 2 years, see what he thinks, and he'll stay with the team. So we keep one of our better offensive linemen. Sam Hubbard, another guy we would like to keep around, will be 29, so we'll start off with the base offer, and he'll stay around as well. So far, some much better negotiations compared to the first offseason. Ritter, if we want to be able to trade him potentially, we need to keep him around. So we will offer a decent contract here, and he needs a bigger offer to overcome this team not being a fit for him. So we'll continue that in the offseason. So maybe a little hiccup in the plan there. Davon Hamilton, another guy we would like to keep around as well. So we will offer the base contract for him, and he will stay around. So we're doing so far pretty good. A couple guys that we were wanting to keep around that so far don't feel like they quite want to. But we'll try to keep around as many of these backups as possible. So definitely have a couple guys we'll need to continue negotiating with in the offseason. We'll bump this up to a 3-year deal for Smith, and he didn't quite like that one either. Josie Love would like to keep him around for a few years, bump it up to a 3-year deal, and he's not so sure either. Some of these guys will just might have to bring back an open free agency when they don't have a lot of offers, but for now, we'll try to keep them around. Making some of these young guys a nice deal, but yeah, a lot of the younger guys seem to try to get some more money, try to squeeze out as much as they can. Thayer Mumford, again, younger guy, will try to keep around. Offer a 3-year deal, and he will also test. Most of these guys, as we saw last season, we're just going to have to bring them back in the open free agency where there's not a lot of teams that are interested in them. We will offer a little bit here for Ben, and he will stay around. Chris LaRubio, our backup QB. We will try to keep him around for a bit, offer him a decent deal here. And so far, he thinks he could test on half of a game. And Wyatt Davis, why not? We'll offer a decent deal here. Make it a 2-year deal. But he'll test, well, not test, but not sign at least for now. And rounding out the season, we were actually able to get a pretty solid win against the Steelers, 35-14. Just we weren't able to follow that through, losing 45-29 to the Jaguars, and then the Texans 28-21 in the final week. So we end up with a better record than we had the first year. Just not great. You know, we made some improvements, but with all the improvement that we did, you expect we would go better than 6-11 at the bottom of the division. Granted, we still won the Ohio Bowl. If we lost that game, the Browns would have won. So, at least something there, but we will wrap out this episode with some quick stats. So for Desmond Ridder, and what could be his last season here with us, again, we're going to try to re-sign him and then try to use him as trade bait to try to get the other quarterback, potentially. We'll see what ends up happening in the offseason. But he goes for a little bit under 4,500, 32 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. If we had half the amount of interceptions, I think we win about 4 to 5 more games. So, is what it is, 68% completion. However, LaRubio, while he's testing 90% on 10 attempts for 9 completions, 135 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns. Zeke does go for a little over 1,200 and 15 touchdowns, and then not much other in terms of anyone else getting out there to run the ball. So, not much that we could tell for any of our backups. Chris Olave over 1,005 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson just shy of 1,000, 6 touchdowns. Ruckert back again close to 1,000 in his second season with 2 touchdowns. Holiday rookie year, a little bit under 900, 8 touchdowns. Elliott had an additional 400 yards and 5 touchdowns through the air. And then Noah Brown, who we ended up bringing in after we traded away Curtis Samuel, is all right, has about 1 game's performance there. He does have 1 touchdown. DeGuara has 2 on the season, same as Morris, surprisingly. In terms of sacks, no one averaging a sack a game, so an improvement here. Decker with 9, Jackson with 7, 6 for Norwell, 4 for Lindsey, 2 for Myers, and Petit Frere did end up losing his starting spot when we brought in Jackson, but only 1 sack from him, at least during the time he played, so not awful. Honestly, actually pretty good. And once again, Jerome Baker killing it with 137 tackles, leading the team by a good margin. Tackles for a loss goes to Chase Young with 20. Also had 13 for Hubbard and Hamilton, 10 for Werner and Togiai, then 9 for Baker, 4 for Gardner, 3 for Cooper, and then 2 for Ward, Okuda, Harrison, and Brooks, and then 1 for Bell and Derek Forrest. Close, but not really. In terms of sacks, Chase Young led us there with 8.5, 7 for Hubbard, 3 for Baker and Cooper, 2.5 for Warner, and then 2 for Hamilton, 1 for Sapp, and then half for Togiai, Okuda, Bell, and Sheffield. So Togiai definitely doesn't have it locked down for next year, but we'll see what we're able to do in the offseason. Interception-wise, Jerome Baker killed it this year. Got to be a second year in a row being a Pro Bowler. He had 7, 2 for Warner and Ward, and then 1 for Okuda, Bell, Gardner, and Forrest. And kicking-wise, 100% on extra points, only 69% on field goals, 9 of 13. Not great there from Sloman, but at least he's hitting all those extra points. So there is that. But that will wrap out Season 2. A slight improvement, 2-game improvement. So hopefully next year we could take that next step. We'll see who we have at quarterback. So make sure you stick around by hitting that subscription button and ticking that bell notification to be notified of when these videos go live. Because next episode is going to be off-season. And I feel like it might be a crazy one, considering we have a weird grouping of picks. Hopefully we can make some things happen in some free agency if anyone is available for us. So make sure you stick around for that. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.